Hi, I'm Pamela and welcome to Green Stick Cottage, where I knit and crochet whenever the cats allow me to. And I've managed to finish 2 more things on my deadline list, my list of deadlines. And the first one is this. This is for one of my granddaughters. I get these, I tend to use these as gift bags for my grandchildren because they cost the same at Dollar Tree. They're little Dollar Tree backpacks, and they cost the same as the more conventional type of gift bags. And afterwards, so it's kind of like they get an extra gift because they've got the backpack to put their goodies in, whatever they want to put in there, whatever toys or dolls or whatever in this case. This is for a 5-year-old granddaughter. And I tuck their card in this front zip pocket, and then the gift is inside the main part. I use these for project bags as well. But this is the princess hat inspired by Elsa. And here's what it looks like. And she has a blue crown. It has a blue crown. And I went down a size on this hat. I've been using the same basic half double crochet beanie from Umbaka Design. And for these princess, well, this is the second princess hat, but there's going to be more. And but I also use the same pattern, half double crochet pattern, for the octopus hat and the dinosaur hat. Because it's just a nice universal beanie pattern that will work for all kinds of different things. So here's the ringlets. So this one only has 10 ringlets because it's a smaller circumference beanie around here. And I used the pattern is my own, or the ringlets are my own formula that I came up with to make the ringlets. And the crown is by, it's called Princess Crown by Ira Rott. And so I combined, basically 3 components to make this princess hat. And so hopefully she will love it. And there we go. So that's what the princess hat looks like. The next princess hat is coming. I think the deadline for that one is March 7. Let me look at my notes. Yes, I'll have to get that one done by March 7. And I think that one's I'm going to do Cinderella. So that one will have yellow hair. So the hat and the ringlets will be yellow, and it'll use this same light blue for the crown. So that'll be a little bit of a variation. And so now the princess hat's going back into the little pink backpack, and she'll be getting this tomorrow. She'll be able to wear it tomorrow if she wants to. And so that is that one, that finish. And another finish that needs to go in the mail is the bowling pin and bowling ball keychain. And I used size 10 cotton, crochet cotton thread for these, and so I think her name is Jane Herman, the designer of this pattern, and she used yarn to make, and they are flat on the bottom, so they can stand on their own. And as usual, I always stuff mine with yarn ends. That's my stuffing. And I can't remember which brands of crochet thread I used, and then I just embroidered the finger holes on the bowling ball. And but this is for one of my sons who is in a bowling league, and so he enjoys bowling. So I thought he might get a kick out of that. And You know, he may not use it as keychain. My son, who, you know, I made the basketball keychain for, he's just got it on display in his man cave with all the other red and black and white items to, you know, because he's a Michael Jordan fan. So I made his red and black and white bowling ball with that in mind. And it just so happens that bowling pins and bowling ball can use the same colors. So it worked out great. So that one will be going into the mail, hopefully tomorrow. And so those are my two finishes. And I've got, let me look at my notes again. Oh, on the princess hat, I used Mainstays 100% acrylic 4-weight yarn in white, but the light blue came from scraps, you know, from leftover yarn that was donated to the library to give to our handcrafters group. And it was a big tote, you know, and I just, you know, so everybody went through and got what they wanted, and then it was just, you know, little leftover balls without labels or anything. So, but it's mostly acrylic, I think. That's what it feels like. And so I'm trying to use those as much as possible. And you'll see that coming up because I started a project specifically for those unknown yarns and as a stash buster project, even though it's not really stash, it's leftover yarn. But I got it for free from the person who donated it to the library, so that was very nice. And I got the tote because everybody else had gotten what they wanted, and I said I just want the tote, you know, for my craft room my craft room reclamation, renovation, reorganization project. So. But there was still balls left in the bottom, so I got those, and so I'm using them. And so I guess that when I used an eye hook for the princess hat, a 5.5 millimeter, and I used the I think I used the 60 stitches circumference on the half double crochet, basic half double crochet beanie by Umbaka Design. So yeah, so that's that. And by the way I make that is I make the ringlets first, then I make the hat, and on the final round, which is a slip stitch round, I slip stitch the ringlets onto the final round of the hat. And then I pick up the slip stitches. For the crown, I pick up the top loop of the slip stitch and do the crown, and then the rim of the crown at the bottom, I use the bottom of the slip stitch, the bottom loop. So anyway, it's easier to show, but that's how I do it, so that the crown is actually part of the hat. It's not like sewn on later or anything. It's all crocheted, no sewing. Just sewing in the ends at the end is all I had to do. And the bowling ball and pin, that was, Jean Herman. So it's Jean Herman and the name of it, I found the pattern on Ravelry. It's called Mini Bowling Ball and Pin. And for that I used a B1 or 2.25 millimeter hook. And I forgot to take the measurements of I still need to do that, take the measurements of the ball and the pin, just for my own curiosity. All right, next this is my granny square crochet along that ended on December 31st. And I'm still not done with it, but I'm currently working on these black 7-round granny squares. And this stack is 19 out of the 23 I need of this size. So I only have 4 more to go of this size in black. And then I have to do 14 3-round granny squares, which should go a lot quicker, with only 3 rounds. And then once those are done, I'll get to start joining all these squares, all the black squares with the colored squares. I'll put a picture up here, to make my granny square blanket. And I'll be doing a join as you go round, on all these squares in black. So I'll be using black as the final round on the colored squares as well as the black squares. So that project, that's one of my whips that I'm trying to keep up with, and I try to do at least one square in between each deadline project. So that's that one. And that's the status there. I'm using Mainstays 100% acrylic for that project as well, using 8 different colors plus black, and an eye hook or 5.5 millimeters. So that's how that one's coming along. Now, with the new year, there's new crochet alongs and knit alongs, which I really have no business joining in on, especially with my track record for, like, this one, for example, that was, that ended on the 31st, and I'm still not finished. But I think I have a chance with this one. This is a knit along, and it is called Joyful Kitties MCAL. So it's MKAL, Mystery Knit Along. And it's by Sherry Marie Leck on Ravelry. She has a group. And the way she set up this knit along, mystery knit along, of course we know it's cats because it's Joyful Kitties. The way she set it up, I thought, this would be a perfect project for using up all that unknown yarn, all that yarn that I don't know, all the leftover yarn that was donated that doesn't have labels, and mystery yarn. So a mystery knit along for mystery yarn. And the way she has set it up is that you get the first pattern, which is the gauge swatch. You get that free, and that was this little coaster. So I used red and black to make this little coaster. So this is part of the mystery yarn in that tote. And this is Intarsia knitting, where you're using color blocks, and it's in garter stitch, which I've only done Intarsia and stockinette stitch before, so this was challenging. I had to restart several times until I found Edie Ekman's, I'll link it below, her tutorial on Intarsia in garter stitch. And then I got it right away watching her video. And that's what the back looks like. So it turned out pretty well. There are many ends, but I managed to get them all woven in. You can probably see all right. And so I'm pretty happy with it, and I've been using it as a coaster, and just, I love the red and black contrast. So, and it's a little heart, and so everybody's doing the same little hearts. Then when you finish your gauge swatch, which this is, it's supposed to be 4 inches, but since it's a blanket, the final item, is going to be a blanket. I'm not that worried about it. I think mine's like 4 1/4 or something like that square. But anyway, so I'm real happy with that. And the way it works is you either start a project page on Ravelry for this project, or you can post a picture to the group, which is called Craft for You Designs, I think, or Craft Designs for You. Anyway, if you just look up Joyful Kitties MCAL, you'll find all the you'll find the link to the group and everything. And so once you post that, then you're on her list, and you get the code to get the next part of the pattern free, which is going to be released on January 5th. And this is a knit along taking place from from now till in July, I believe. And it's going to have squares, knitted squares like this, only bigger, for the blanket. And I believe there are 9 squares in the blanket, but I'm probably going to make mine, instead of 3 by 3, I'll make mine probably 3 by 4 or 4 by 4 or something, because I like bigger blankets. I want to be covered, from head to toe. Even I like them taller than I am, and I'm 5'4". So we'll see how it works out, how my squares, what size they turn out to be, and so anyway, love it, and I'm anxious to see the kitties. So I've submitted my photo and everything, and I said, of course, this black is covered in cat hair, and I said I thought that was just so appropriate for this particular knit along. And so I have my yarn ready. She did give us, so the next pattern is going to be a pillow that will go with the blanket. And she did give us the colors for that. And so for the coaster, I used straights, size 6 and size 8, which are 5 millimeters and 4 millimeters. And so that's what I used for the coaster. I don't know if the squares for the blanket and the pillow will fit comfortably on these, so I probably, most likely, will switch to circulars for those. And so these are my closest that I could come up with for the, it calls for the pillow, it calls for antique white, light gray, aqua, dark gray, and pink for the pillow. So, also the background color. Now, the background color she's using for these, for the blanket, is light purple and dark purple for the background. So, I found some light purple and dark purple in that tote of unknown mystery yarn, and we'll see how long it lasts. There are more balls than this. I just took out the 2 smallest ones to use up first, and then for light gray, this is almost a kind of a blue gray, but I thought it might work, and especially, let's see if there's enough. I'm not sure. It's part of the cat's coat, I think, So, and then for the dark gray, I had to get into my own stash, and I got some Red Heart Super Saver in Gray Heather. So there's some contrast there. So I'm just worried about this being too bluish looking, but if so, I do have some regular gray, light gray from Red Heart if I need to switch. All right, and then aqua, which I believe are going to be the eyes. This is kind of a bluish green color. It looks more blue on the screen, but in real life it looks more green, blue-green. So there's that. And the antique white, this looks like regular white. This one is a little dingier looking. So I'm not sure what I'll use. I'll see what it looks like with the other colors. And then I just have a regular standard pink for the pink. So I have all these set aside for this project, and these are all number 4 weight acrylic yarns, I'm pretty sure. And well, I know for sure on the Red Heart that's acrylic. And these all feel similar. They very well could be Red Heart. And they just came like this with no labels. So that's what I've got going on. That hopefully I can start on this pillow right away on the 5th. And as soon as the pattern comes out, and I've got my code to download it. And so get in on that if you want to join in on it, and you can see kind of a little preview of what the cats are going to look like on the project page or the pattern page for the coaster. It's just called Joyful Kitties Coaster. Okay, so those are what's currently going on, and then for my plans, well, no, I've got another new start. Let me find that. Where did I put that? Wouldn't you know it, I did not get that one. Anyway, I'll just wing it from here. So my latest start is this deadline project, which is the flashpoint hat. You've seen this before in pink and yellow. This one is in pink and blue, light blue, baby blue, in fact. I'm using the same cake, which has elongated itself into this strange shape with the white. I did not disconnect the white from it, but I did not want to use the white. So I've just kind of stuck the white in here, and but anyway, this used to be a nice flat little cake down here, but I'm pulling from the outside because I'm avoiding this white, and so it's a dark pink right now, but it will graduate into the lighter pinks, and maybe not on this hat, it might take another hat, but this one is for my granddaughter who likes pink and blue, so she's getting this. By the way, that is Lion Brand Mandala in the colorway Cupid. That's where the dark and light pinks are coming from. And this blue is baby blue, and I gotta show you because this happens every time. And so it has a yarn barf situation. And this is Burnout Baby Sport in baby blue. And I don't think I have ever used a skein of Burnout Baby Sport that I did not end up with a yarn barf situation like this. So I wish they would make that easier. I mean, it is just... So I am still working on this. Just started it yesterday, I believe. And I'm working on the brim. I'll put up a picture of the one I already finished for my for a different granddaughter, and the pink and yellow. And so the brim, I think I have one more round. So this is both of these yarns are number 3 weight, and they're both acrylic yarns. And I am using, I'm gonna have to find that the card for the flashpoint. Where did it go? I have no idea what I did with it. Let's see. It's probably in the wrong box. That's most likely the story. Yep. Okay. So it is called Flashpoint is the name of the pattern. I am using US 4 knitting needles which is 3.5 millimeters, and these are my anniversary, my anniversary purple edition Knit Picks interchangeable needles, so that's what I'm using to knit this with right now. It will eventually graduate as it gets smaller towards the crown. I will have to add a second circular needle, which is also Knit Picks nickel plated interchangeable needle set, and then I will be able to finish this all the way up to the crown with the 2 circulars. But for right now, it is fitting. These 84 stitches are fitting on the and this pattern is by Knitting Apprentice, I think, is so it's also a free pattern on Ravelry. And this is Brioche stitch, and so I'll try to hold it up close. It's reversible. So there's the blue side, the baby blue, And here's the Cupid side with the baby blue as contrast. And so brioche stitch is very cushy, you know, squishy and cushy. It's very nice. And it's not that hard to do once you get the knack of it. You have to go around twice to complete one round, because you are picking up stitches. You know, every other stitch is a slip stitch with a yarn over. So I don't know if you could tell, but anyway, go like that. So you slip the stitch while you do a yarn over, and then you've got a yarn over and a stitch. I don't think you could see it very well, but you got a yarn over and a stitch here, and then this is a knit round, so you knit those two together, and that's how you get, you know. And then so this is the round with the main color, which is the Cupid. Now on the round with the baby blue color, you're doing that same slipping with a yarn over, and then you're purling the next stitch and yarn over. You're purling those together, and I'm probably making it sound worse, you know, more confusing than it actually is. But you can get going pretty quickly once you know what you're doing and you get used to it. So that is the flashpoint hat, and that one resides in my tie-dye backpack. I just went ahead and put my label on here, deadline, because this is where my deadline projects are going to be, where they're going to live while they're being worked on. And so let's see what's next. We've got the flashpoint, we've done the princess and the joyful kitties. So we are down to what's the deadline. So the deadline after the flashpoint hat is a poppet octopus. So this backpack is where the poppet octopus yarns are residing until I get to them. And let's see what we got here. So this one, the deadline for this is January 25th. So yeah, I got to hurry up and finish that flashpoint hat so I can get going on this, the poppet octopus, if I can get it out of here. And this one is going to be, I'm going to use Mainstays 100% acrylic in which is number 4 weight yarn, in purple and pink multi. And the poppet octopus, I'll put a picture of one or more that I've made already, is a reversible fidget toy. So the little legs are pop, and the whole head pops to the other side, to reverse it all. So I'm going to make that one with these colors. And then for her sister, for the one that this is meant for her sister, she's going to get pink with purple multi, because they both like pink and purple. So the bigger sister will get the purple and the pink multi, and the younger sister will get pink with purple multi. So I'm looking forward to those, because I love purple and pink. So I will enjoy working with those yarns. And so that brings me up to the end of my plans through the end of January, because that's got the deadline on January 25th. Then I've got a deadline coming up on the Joyful Kitties, because the first square for the blanket is coming out on February 2nd. So I'll have to use these yarns to finish up the pillow by February 1st. So that's my January vision so far. and then, yeah, I have a deadline at the end of March for the new baby coming in May, because the baby shower will be in April. So I have to get all those done. And let me add a note about this. Be forewarned, because my daughter, that's expecting this baby in May, she did one of those blood tests, or I guess it's a pokey thing or something. See, a lot of these things I've never heard of. During my childbearing years, none of these things were around. Let's just say a lot of these things were not around. And even some things like ultrasounds that were around, I would not do them. I did not want to know the sex of my child ahead of time. I wanted, anyway. I was bearing children for decades, and so I didn't like change. I didn't like all the newfangled stuff. I like doing things naturally and home birth, things like that. So suffice it to say, I have no familiarity with things like this, but apparently there is a test you can do earlier in pregnancy than the ultrasounds, where they can determine the sex of the baby through ultrasound. I guess through a blood test, they can tell supposedly what the sex is. So my daughter did that, and it was like, I don't remember, it was like $80-something, I think. And the results were that it was a girl. So I pulled up all these patterns for a girl, and guess what? She had the ultrasound. She got far enough along that they did the ultrasound, and what did they find? They found an organ that girls don't have. And so now he's a boy. So don't waste your money on those early tests. Now, she can get her money back because they were wrong, but you have to submit the birth certificate, a copy of the birth certificate of the baby, to prove they were wrong. And so we'll see how that goes when the time comes. But now, we were excited about a girl, but we're also excited about a boy, because the most recent grandson for me was he has turned 9. So that's how long it's been that I have not had a grandson, and no baby. I've just been making baby girl clothes all this time. So now I get to make baby boy clothes, and I'm looking forward to showing. I have some things picked out. I'm still deciding on a blanket. But I do have an outfit picked out, and I'm not going to show it this time, but hopefully next time it'll be more relevant time-wise, and I'm excited to show that, because I'm really I've been wanting to make this particular baby boy outfit for these many years. So, all right. So I hope you are working on something that you enjoy, and getting lots of time to do that. And I hope you're having a good early winter or summer if you're on the other side of the world. And enjoy your day. And thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.